back at NSC 2015, and I'm joined by Fred Gilbert, the outgoing Student Assembly Board of Directors President. So you've had a year in this seat. We're going to talk about how you got to that seat in a second, but first of all, you've been leading the student board that represents all the student members of APTA. Tell me some of the projects that you've seen students step up and do together to make a difference.
So I would say the first one, just because it's been the most recent, was the PT Day of Service. So a group of individuals that had been involved with the Student Assembly before set out to start an initiative to have people across the globe, PTs across the globe, get out and do service in the name of physical therapy. And we saw about 1,800 PTs and PTAs across the globe from all 50 states and DC and 27 different countries go out and do service in the name of physical therapy. You can check it out at #PTDOS and see all the amazing activities that went on that day. I would say another one that I'm really proud of is that we have been doing a really good job of getting in touch with interdisciplinary professionals. And so we have some visitors from Canada. We also have some athletic trainers, as well as bioinformatics and a representative from the OT Association. And so Sharon Dunn told me today that students are really leading the effort to go out and become interdisciplinary leaders in the profession.
There's the Student Assembly Board, right? But then there are all these ways you don't have to be on the board to make a difference. Right. And you've had these different groups that have done special projects. Just run through the list really quick of some of what those projects have been.
Yeah, so, and a really big one is one of the project committees is put on this conference that we're at right now. And so a group of about 14 students planned every session, got to choose the speakers, and did everything that went into it. Another one is the Global Health Project Committee, and they did a really good job of just making this manual so that students that are interested in doing international service learning can find an easy step-by-step way to make contacts, to find projects, and to really transform society in a way outside of the clinic. The Community Outreach Project Committee also did a really good job of having the very first community outreach event at a National Student Conclave. So we went and made Christmas cards for a local charity here, and so hopefully we'll be able to spread a little Christmas cheer down the road in the name of physical therapy. So a lot of stuff that's not what you typically think of with physical therapy, and a lot of students are really taking it by the reins and running with it.
The other thing you did just a little bit ago, we had a series of speakers with all these different sessions, and you talked about involvement, and you said sort of all the time you hear people saying, get involved, and it's almost like you hear it so much, you know you should do it, but it's like, where do you start? It's such a big topic. You mentioned, give me the background that you had in terms of leadership before you decided I'm going to step up and potentially run to be president of the Student Assembly Board of Directors.
Yeah, and so the title of my talk was No Experience Necessary. And if you really look at my background and my resume, it's kind of scarce. And I've done some stuff, I joked in the speech about safety patrol in elementary school and high school SGA, but I never had anything really formal. And a lot of times when people look at involvement and look at how they should step up and make a difference, they think, well, I have to have done something before. And so, my background is when I found out about the Student Assembly as a whole 3 months prior to even running for the board. I did not originally put myself in as president, but I was fortunate the nominating committee thought, he has the attributes, even though I didn't see it in myself first. So I took a chance and they put me up there, and my attributes have been perfect to help guide the group of leaders that I was given in the Student Assembly. And so you don't have to have done it before to do a good job with it.
Yeah, and the other theme was kind of, don't necessarily have to think about exactly how you're going to make a difference. Just jump in and find a way to make a difference. You talked about some traits that I think help in terms of like being a leader and getting involved, and kind of what are some of those things? Not necessarily thinking like, I have to be this leader, just having these basic traits. Yeah,
and so, one of the things I talked about was just being open and being honest and being enthusiastic. So a lot of times people think, well, you got to put on a front to go out and inspire people, but I was consistently told last year during student elections that the reason that people like talking to me is I was open and I was honest, and they felt like I was helping to try and inspire them. When you try and give the answer that people want, it usually misses the mark, but when you speak from the heart and your experience, it really goes a long way.
Fred Gilbert, thank you for your service as a student, and if you can find out about all these ways you can get involved at the current student section of the APTA website. To get more dispatches like this, you can go to the NSC website. I'm Jason Bellamy, and I'll catch you later.